Hello, it's Davey Mooney coming to you from the University of North Texas, where I run the jazz guitar program. Benedetto artist, Sunnyside Records artist, got the CDs up here. Personalizing Jazz Vocabulary from Mel Bay. New book will be out soon. And I wanted to talk today about a Tom Jobim tune called Triste that comes up a lot on gigs. I feel like most of the time that I do a social gig, I'll play either Triste or Wave or both. It's one of those like maybe top 10 Tom Jobim bossa nova tunes. And as with many tunes, I learned it originally from the original real book. I know it's kind of a common theme with these videos that I talk about my history with that document. And the changes aren't too bad in there, but lately I've been going back through the various versions of this song over the years, and it's been recorded very often, just to kind of check out the variations in key and harmony from the various versions. And particularly, I love the version on the album Elis and Tom. And I previously did a video on the song Inutile Paisaging from there. The English title is If You Never Come to Me. I was talking about the brilliance of that arrangement. And this tune, too, it's a great, that's probably my favorite version. But one thing that comes up with this song immediately that's a little bit in debate or contested is the key. And it seems the original version, I guess it's written in the mid-60s, and there's a version on the album Wave that's in the key of A. And it's this really nice intro where you have A major to like a F major 7 over A, and then A major to like a A minor 6. And it's real nice, especially on 7-string guitar, you get to play the song in A. And then when Jobim recorded it with Frank Sinatra, with the English lyric, it's also in A. And those two versions, the harmonies are pretty close. The version on Elis and Tom is in G, and there's some different chords in there. It's a cool little arrangement that, obviously I've said already, that's my favorite one. But, it's been recorded a million times. Joe Henderson does it on Double Rainbow, which is a great record. And he does it in G, the Elis and Tom key, but they have a lot of different chords. They reharmonize certain sections, especially on the melody. When they get to the solo part, they keep it pretty close to the recognized harmonies of that tune, although in G. But yeah, there's a lot going on during the head. And I was just recently today listening to a great version from Kenny Barron and the guitar player Lula Galvão, who's an amazing Brazilian guitar player I've never met. But man, he's one of my favorite players. And they have an album called Brazilian Nights, I guess it's called, on Sunnyside from 2013. And they do it in B flat, and fairly close to those real book chords, which again are not perfect, but it's they're not that far off either. So I'll go through it. Gosh, I guess I'll go through it in A. Why not? So that's the original key. We did it I remember here at school, there was a jam session the other day, people called Triste, and I'm always wondering what the younger generation is going to come up with. It's usually something to do with the iReal app on their phone, in which I checked it out. It's in the key of A, but then these students did it in the key of B flat. So who knows where we're at. So in A anyway, it's really cool. Like I said, it's got that intro, the original version. And so, you have... And so the second chord is going to be an F major 7. There's always a question in my mind of whether after that F major 7, you then go to B flat 7, sharp 11 before you go back to A. And, the real book, which is in B flat, of course, does that. But the Sinatra and the Tom Jobim version just stays on the F major there. They might also have A in the bass, still might be F over A. So who knows? But Elis and Tom, they're in the key of G, but they go to that dominant chord. They go G, E flat major 7, A flat 7. So it seems to me that there's precedent for doing either one. So A major or not. C sharp minor 7 5 5, a 2 5 to the 2 chord. It's kind of nice. So then you have B minor, and some people will walk down to do a 2 5 2-5 to F sharp minor to the 6, or you could just go up a whole step to a dominant, which kind of helps with the modulation of this thing. And I believe that's what they do on Elis and Tom, down to F sharp minor. So it's so B minor, C sharp 7, F sharp minor, G sharp 7. And then there's a little cycle. You go to a major 3, C sharp major in the key of A. It's kind of funny to deal with all those sharps. Then a 2-5 of that. And then the question is whether, when you go back to C sharp, is it major or minor? And various versions disagree on that. Elis and Tom, it's major, although they do the whole thing over a pedal. And they're in the key of G, so when they get to that point, it's actually a B chord. But it's very much a major chord. Some versions I'm forgetting, but some versions definitely go, they go C sharp major, 2-5, C sharp minor, F sharp 7, B minor, E7, and like a 3-6-2-5. And again, I think you can kind of do either one. Honestly, I think the real book makes it minor when you get back to it, the 3 chord. So, where were we? So. C sharp minor. D sharp minor 9, G sharp 7. It's fine to say those sharp keys all the time. C sharp major 9, or maybe minor 9, F sharp 7. B minor 7 to E7. And then the second half, the tune's kind of in halves, sort of A, B, A, C. Although it changes harmonically. You have A major to A minor 6 maybe, or A minor D7. Back to A major to E minor, so a 2-5 to the 4. Although the Sinatra version is kind of cool when you go there. They go to C sharp minor 7 again, C sharp minor 7 flat 5, as if they were going to go to B minor again, but then it becomes like F sharp diminished, C sharp too many sharps, C sharp diminished going to D. So they get to the 4 chord a slightly different way. And I think the bass after the C sharp minor 7 flat 5 goes up to E and does like a 2-5 to 4. So basically it gets to 4, and most people will go E minor 7, just do a 2-5, 1, A7, then the 4 chord to like 4 minor, either to D minor 7 or G7, and then C sharp minor, or like maybe A over C to a C diminished, the flat 3 diminished that we've encountered in many tunes, then a 2-5-1 to A. And the tune resolves, but actually it resolves many versions. This is another thing that's slightly, there are variations. So after that C sharp diminished, you have 2-5 back to A, but most people go A minor to D7. And sometimes, depending on what kind of society gig you're on, sometimes people will play that A minor D7 thing for twice or maybe 4 times, however they want to elongate it, and then back to the top. Although the original, I think, on Wave just does it twice. It might just be a A minor 6. Elis and Tom, one of the things they do on that record that I really like is that as they get to the end of that, so they would be so A minor 7, D7. Instead of going to like a G minor or G minor 6, they go A minor, D7, B flat major, E flat major, back to G. So it's really interesting, like a flat 3 major 7 or 6-9 to a flat 6 major 7 back to 1. Something I really like about that arrangement. And another thing they do, like at the very beginning of it, it's got this interesting intro, where they go, I guess it's a keyboard, it's like these perfect fourths, and you think like, okay, well they're going in a minor third. It's like, down in this octave it would be, E, A, D, G, and then up a minor third to G, C, F, B flat, and you think, okay, maybe it's like, is that a G going to B flat? But after a couple times it goes, and the bass goes, to like this little snaky bass line. And then you realize the bass goes from G to A flat, that this is actually like a G6 to a A flat 6. So it's really, really slick little intro. And that whole record, you know, you've heard me, if you've watched my Inútil Paisagem video, my opinion that that's like one of the great, definitely in Brazilian popular music. Brazilian music, I love that record so much. And I'm gonna play a few choruses on this tune in that key in G with those changes. And yeah, like I said, so they're all pretty similar, these versions, and even the real book, except for the Joe Henderson, which is in G, like Elis and Tom, but they do some reharmonization, at least on the head. So yeah, it's a good tune to know. I've been double checking, make sure all my students know this, because when you go on a gig, it's definitely going to get called. And you know, like many of these tunes, you have to take almost like a musicological approach and check out different versions and different variations on the harmony. All right, here's a few choruses on it. Hope you enjoy it.